ISIL's not a caliphate. It's a crime ring.
Under President Obama and Vice President Biden, we are making progress.
ISIL is on the defensive.
So what's the problem with radical Islam?
Well, the problem is that sounds like we are declaring war against a religion.
There's no magic to the phrase radical Islam. It's a political talking point.
Our enemy are these criminal killers who misuse a religion.
ISIL is not Islamic. No religion condones the killing of innocents.
You can talk about Islamists. I don't want us to be painting with too broad a brush.
ISIL does not speak for Islam. They're thugs and killers, part of a cult of death.
All right, the Islamic State is not Islamic. There's no such thing as radical Islamic terrorism. By the way, they're the JV team, and of course, they are contained, and they do not represent an existential threat to the United States of America. Those are the words of President Obama and candidate Hillary Clinton. We continue now with Donald Trump. We're in Milwaukee at the Pabst Theater, and also joining us is the author of the New York Times bestseller, Defeating Jihad, the Winnable War. Dr. Gorka is with us. He's the professor of strategy and irregular warfare at the Institute of World Politics at Marine University. You know, you just heard JV team, they're contained, they're not an existential threat. We see the victims that we interviewed earlier. What does the president and Hillary not understand about this evil in our time?
Sean, they don't understand the reality. The war is real and the war is here. The war is here. The victims are here. This is a threat that is real and is escalating every day. ISIS makes between $2 and $4 million every 24 hours. It has captured territory larger than the UK, with 6 million people living on their territory, and has recruited 80,000 jihadis.
And every 84 hours, there's another attack.
Outside of you, so there's this hellhole in Iraq and Syria. Outside of the battle zone, every 84 hours since June, there's been a jihadi attack somewhere.
Okay, Donald Trump, I know he gets beat up by the media, but he says he's going to have extreme vetting and he's going to build a wall. Who's going to pay for it?
By the way, that's a little bit of a different subject, but it's...
But no, it's actually related, though, isn't it?
It's related. A little different, but it's related.
You know, will those policies that he's advocating versus what we hear from them, will it keep... let me backtrack. There's 1,000 FBI investigations ongoing now about ISIS in America in all 50 states, including Wisconsin. Will the policies Mr. Trump is advocating keep everybody here and across the country safer, in your professional opinion?
Absolutely. Let's take politics. Let's take politics out of the equation. We have killed or arrested 108 people linked to ISIS in the last 2 years in America. Linked to ISIS, not Al-Qaeda and ISIS, just ISIS. If you don't have borders, you don't have security.
Is there anything, you heard his speech, and you can talk directly, is there anything else you would add so we can keep the homeland safe? And if you say we can defeat ISIS, can we defeat it, as Mr. Trump is saying, without ground troops?
We don't have to be the face of this war. It has to be our allies in the region. This is why Mr. Trump's speech was essential. It has to be our Muslim buddies, the Jordanians who've suffered so much, the Egyptians, absolutely.
The Saudis.
We'll talk about that later, okay? It has to be the Jordanians, the Egyptians, who are the face of this war. Yeah. We can provide the training, the special forces advisors, but we don't need to be the face of this war. And the most important thing that Mr. Trump said, this is an ideological war like the Cold War. We have got to destroy the brand of jihad.
How dangerous is the Syrian refugees? And is it a better idea, and I'm talking as if you're not here, hi.
Okay.
No, but 550% increase that Hillary wants in Syrian refugees, you're offering to provide a safe zone, protected militarily.
Paid for by somebody else.
Paid for by other people. By the way, Obama did accumulate more debt than every other president before him combined.
Doubled it. Doubled it.
So, but you'd also provide food, water, medicine, supplies, cots, baby formula.
Right.
That sounds pretty liberal and compassionate.
In Syria.
Yeah.
They have plenty of land, that I can tell you, but in Syria. And there's plenty of money. because you look at the Gulf states, you look at the kind of money they have, nobody's seen money like that, and they're not doing anything.
All right,
they're
last
not
question.
doing anything.
James Comey, James Clapper, General John Allen, Michael Steinbeck, the assistant FBI director, the House Homeland Security secretary, have all warned us, and Brennan, our CIA director, that ISIS will infiltrate this refugee population. So is Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama gambling with the lives of these American people by taking them in? Yes or no?
If Hillary Clinton becomes the commander-in-chief and continues the policies of this administration, American lives will be endangered.
So
it is that simple.
Is it fair to say they will have blood on their hands if refugees kill Americans?
They already do.